Many South African universities are adamant they won't accept walk-in registrations. But the EFF Student Command's not happy with that decision. It's threatening to shut down tertiary institutions if walk-ins are not allowed. The EFF also wants free registration for students who failed the 2018 academic year. Universities say students should rather apply online. Ahmed Bawa is the CEO of Universities South Africa and joins us now via Skype. Good evening, Prof. Thanks very much for your time. The EFF Student Command says they have been engaging with both the Department of Higher Education and universities, and no one is prepared to listen to them. Have they engaged?
Clearly, they've engaged with DHET and also with the individual universities because via their structures at individual universities. Look, I heard the interview earlier on today, and there are a couple of thoughts that immediately come to mind. The first is that universities are indeed encouraging young people not to walk into campuses. But where that does happen, what students are being requested to do is to upload their data onto the DHET cache system. Now, there are good reasons for that. It's not just to try and get young people off campuses and so on. The reason for that is because it's that cache system that has data about where university places are available, so that there can be a matching between students and universities. And DHET has kind of emphasized that that's the route it wants to take. There are two or three reasons for this. The one is just simply that when you have thousands of students walking onto campuses, there's danger that students might be injured. There've been cases in the past where there've been some tragic incidents and so on. The second point is that I don't think that there's a shortage of places for first-year students. All you have to do is look at the numbers closely. There are approximately 200,000 places for first-year students in our system. There are 173,000 students who passed the matriculation exam, the NSC, with a bachelor's pass, which means in effect that you've got 170,000 who qualify, who meet the minimum requirements to get into university. And then, of course, there are another group of students who have diploma passes, who will also be able to access certain programs at universities. And there's also research that has been done that approximately 30% of students that get bachelor's passes don't go directly to universities. They go into the workspace, or they take a year out, or they decide that they're going to go into the private sector, private higher education sector, whatever the reason might be. So it's not clear to me at all that there's a shortage of places for first-year students.
How are you planning, or do you not think, Prof, that there is still perhaps a case for engaging the EFF Student Command before chaos erupts at these institutions, notwithstanding the firm belief you seem to have that they've got their facts wrong?
Yes, no, I think that engagement is taking place. I mean, each of the universities engages with its SRCs and with its student structures and so on. So that engagement is taking place. The key question, of course, is that it might well be that there are students who, for example, want to study in the Cape Town area, say a particular program, say engineering, where the spaces are filled up already. And in that case, of course, it's the cache system that will allow us to try and make sure that students do get into spots where they're available.
What about the other issue, them insisting that those who failed last year should be allowed to register free of charge?
Okay, so let's just be clear about this. The students who have either NSFAS grants or bursaries are not required to pay the registration fee. That's covered by NSFAS. So those students are not affected. Of course, students who do not qualify for financial aid they will be required to pay a registration fee. I don't think that universities can do away with that rule simply because in the first 3 to 4 months of functioning, they have to have money to kind of keep their functions going, simply because the first tranche in terms of the subsidy really comes to the universities much later in the year. It comes around about April. So it's universities managing their finances, managing their cash flow, and so on.
Having listened to what the EFF Student Command leader said when I spoke to him earlier, are you worried at all?
I think we must all be worried. We've had 3 or 4 years of fairly tumultuous kind of starts to the academic year. But we're also confident, in the sense that we think that NSFAS is in a much better position this year than it has been in the past. And perhaps more importantly, that the online registration process has functioned very well at most universities. So we are quite confident, in fact, that the start to the academic year will be much better this year than it has been in previous years.
Professor, we're going to leave it. Thanks very much for your time this evening. He is Universities South Africa CEO, Ahmed Bawa.